Time is the most valuable resource on earth. It cannot be replenished. You cannot get it back once it's gone. And we only have 24 hours in a day. Now, we've all heard the saying, if only I had 48 hours in a day. The truth is, if we do not know how to effectively manage the 24 hours that we've been blessed by God with, we will still go through 48 hours and still complain on the need for more hours. Those who have mastered the art of time management are those who have truly learned to maximize the time that has been given to them. By maximizing one's time on a daily basis, the rewards are seen over a long period of time. The question we all ask ourselves is, how do the wealthy, or even those who are successful, do it? They also have 24 hours, and if so, what are they doing that I'm not doing? My name is Arthur Oreke, and I'm a technologist having over 15 years of consulting experience. I have worked on projects as an individual contributor. I've also worked in teams as a member of the team, as well as playing the role of team lead. I have worked on projects for Fortune 500 companies, and one feedback that I have gotten or heard from my fellow colleagues, team members, and even project managers is, how on earth is it that all your projects are completed on time, within budget, and yet the customer is impressed? Well, my time management series is geared towards helping you become a super consultant, one that will make you the envy of your colleagues and make you relevant to your clients and for all your projects. Now, even if you're not a consultant, this time management series will also help you become a lot more productive. This is the fourth part of the time management series. In our previous video, we learned about role switching. And today, I'm going to be discussing about how to prioritize tasks. In a given day, we're faced with a ton of tasks. It soon becomes a juggling act trying to balance and adjust despite the constant challenges. Each task is different. Some are fun, requiring little or no attention, while others demand full attention. Some are critical, and if not performed, could have a cascading effect that could impact one's life. Some can be performed at one sitting, and others can stretch over an extended period of time. To be able to effectively manage one's time, you need to be able to prioritize tasks. Task prioritization is the process of identifying tasks, evaluating them, and determining which tasks need to be worked on based on allocated time to achieve the most value in the short amount of time. Again, life happens and circumstances happen outside of our control. But we need to also ensure that within our prioritization, we're flexible so as to adapt to situations that occur outside of our control. I am about to share 3 tips which I have applied in my life, which have helped me become more productive with my time while prioritizing tasks. Tip number 1, identify tasks. Identifying the tasks is the first step as it gives you a visual or entire view of all that you have to do. You can do this by writing it down in a to-do list. The to-do list essentially provides a high-level view of all tasks that await you. I talked a little bit about this in the first video, developing a sense of urgency, and I highly recommend that you watch it if you haven't done so already. You could use sticky notes, a journal, whiteboard, or even a note-taking app. The bottom line is you need to list out all your tasks. Tip number 2, evaluate the tasks. As I said before, all tasks are different and require varying levels of effort. Again, because we only have 24 hours in a day, it is essential that we maximize the time we have. It is therefore important to identify which task you need to be working on at any given period of time. This requires that one is able to differentiate between what is urgent and what is important. You might ask, what is the difference between the two? Well, urgent is defined as a state that requires immediate action or attention, while important is defined as having significant consequence or value. For example, an urgent task could be a house fire, which needs to be put out right away. or going to a healthcare provider for immediate remedies when hurt, or a baby crying. Important tasks could be a utility bill that needs to be paid, or you have an exam coming up, or a project deadline fast approaching, or you need to file your taxes, or just brushing your teeth. You get the point. At times, a task after an extended period of time can go from being important to being urgent if not completed on time. For example, the utility bill, if not paid on time, could be disconnected, thereby becoming urgent to try to restore service. Not studying for an exam in advance could become urgent, requiring you stay up all night trying to cram for the exam. Not paying your taxes on time could cause a fine or penalties from the government. The Eisenhower matrix is a great tool for helping one distinguish between urgent and important. You could easily look this up online if needed, but the premise here is being able to list out all your tasks in any of the four quadrants on the matrix. It starts by asking yourself, is this task urgent and is it important? You should be able to answer if it's urgent and if it's important. Depending on your answers, you need to mark it down. For instance, if it's urgent and important, it needs to be done right away. If it's not urgent and it is important, you need to be able to schedule and prepare for it. If it is urgent and not important, you need to either automate it or delegate to someone else. If it's not urgent and not important, it needs to be eliminated because it's a time waster. Tip number 3, you need to list them out in prioritized order. Now that you've identified what is urgent from what is important, go ahead and sort these tasks out in order of importance based on the urgent versus important categorization. Ensure that you factor in the amount of time each task requires and plan to match working on these tasks based on the time of day you're best suited to handle them. I talked about this in the second part of the series and recommend watching it if you haven't done so already. Also remember that although we may prioritize tasks, life happens and situations occur. Hence, we must remain flexible and ready to handle these situations. The more you're able to identify and categorize tasks based on what is urgent and important, the more productive you'll become. If you like what you have learned today and you would like to apply it in your life, I would like to invite you to take it on as a challenge. They say a habit forms after 21 days. Start applying this on a daily basis for the next 21 days, and you soon will be on your way to becoming a super consultant, or better yet, being more productive with your time. Thank you for reaching the end of our time management series. Stay blessed.